Newly discovered palace records have revealed that Queen Elizabeth wished for Prince Harry the effective protection that the monarch's grandson deserves by right of his high ancestry. This was revealed in letters between the Queen's personal assistant Sir Edward Young and Cabinet Secretary Mark Sedwill. The same Young, whom Harry accused of plotting against himself and Meghan to deprive them of royal privileges and security, wrote that ensuring the security of the Sussexes is of paramount importance to Her Majesty and her family and called it imperative. Relevant passages from the letters were read out in court, where Harry is litigating against the British government. Now Prince Harry continues to whine that he, his wife and children want to visit the UK more often, but are being denied that opportunity by denying them protection in the form of armed Scotland Yard officers. During the hearing, the lawyer read out a message from the Montesquieu Duke. It was with great sadness to both of us that my wife and I felt compelled to relinquish this role and leave the country in 2020, Harry wrote. The UK is my home. The UK is central to my children's heritage and is where I want them to feel at home, just as it is where they currently live in the US. This cannot happen if it is not possible to keep them safe while they are on UK soil. I cannot put my wife in that kind of danger, and given my life experience, I do not want to expose myself to unnecessary harm. After these statements from Prince Harry, the royal family tensed up. It turns out that the problematic red-headed relative wants to be in England more often, and accordingly, to be closer to the family heritage with his wife and children. And then a funny detail has also surfaced. Royal expert Neil Sean said without a shadow of irony that there are only 3 of them in the Sussex marriage: Harry, Meghan and Mom Doria. The prince's mother-in-law is always by their side both as a counselor and as a babysitter for Archie and Lilibeth. Accordingly, when the couple visit the UK with their children, they will take her with them. And in this case, Doria will also need a royal guard consisting of Scotland Yard police, especially at those moments when she will go out for a walk with her grandchildren. Already funny, in America never walked with them, but here necessarily. So, then in the British press there was information from a so-called friend of the king, who said that Charles would be delighted if Harry and his family were more often in the UK. But with a caveat, it seems the king is the only one who wants to end his feud with his son, the others don't want to see the Sussexes. A mutual friend of William and Kate revealed that the royal family is only too happy that Prince Harry and his wife are hesitant to come to England. Each of the Windsors is minding their own business, not distracted by the drama with the Montesquieu couple, although the Sussexes do manage to pester the monarch's relatives from across the ocean. The only upside to this whole situation is that they live 5,000 miles away, says a friend of the Welsh. The royal family gets sick at the thought that they might come back here. Amid the turmoil of the racism scandal, a vocal critic of the Sussexes, former TV presenter Piers Morgan, has also spoken out. The journalist suggested his own course of action for the Sussexes to try and beg forgiveness from the royal family. If he, Harry, wants his family and the country to ever forgive him, he could start by publicly apologizing for calling members of the royal family a bunch of racists and then pretending he didn't. Yeah, and then he'd give out a bunch of interviews about how the royal family ignored his apology and refused to apologize in return. Well, we're waiting for spare -2. Everyone knows that Scobie is none other than the mouthpiece of the Sussexes, so the responsibility for the new portion of revelations of the royal family in the book Endgame lay on them. All the more ugly the next year of mud looks after the Dukes congratulated the king on his birthday on November 14th. This was the first conversation between father and son in the last 6 months. Supposedly Meghan was just as involved in the conversation, and even the children Archie and Lilibeth, aged 4 and 2, managed to record a birthday greeting for their granddad of Wales on his 75th birthday. It was a video of the children singing birthday greetings. The loving grandfather didn't want to seem so angry that he didn't answer the family's call on such a day, despite being very busy. And suddenly, just a week later, the book goes back to the story of how William ignored Harry's calls as Harry was trying to get to the Queen's bedside. According to him, Harry even sent William a text message asking how his brother was going to go to Scotland. Harry intended to join him. But William didn't respond to the message, and yet there were seats on the private plane. Scobie's new address to this topic sounds the same as another retelling of Harry's offense to William over sausages, nothing new, but the unpleasant residue remains. The main thing, it is not clear why now, after Harry's memoirs, to address this topic again. Even the Sussexes have realized that this book is hurting their ratings rather than contributing to their popularity. Experts are now saying they are in denial about this biography and don't want to be associated with it. In search of freedom, they wrote together, but Endgame threatens to ruin the only looming warming relationship with King. Royal journalist and writer Phil Dampier said, "We all know Scobie is their mouthpiece and he gets his information directly or indirectly from the Sussexes, so anything that hurts Charles, Camilla, or William and Kate is only going to make things worse. Let's just say I don't think Harry and Meghan are coming for a family Christmas. In fact, if there are more serious allegations in Scobie's book, it will take away any chance of reconciliation. Why now?" Scobie continues with William's accusation and claims that the brothers' relationship cannot be repaired because he considers Harry a defector. According to him, the brothers have no way back. Absolutely nothing has changed in their relationship in the last year since Harry's memoir was released. Meghan is trying to show that she is moving on. Speaking to reporters, she reiterated her exciting plans. When asked what she's really doing in business right now, Meghan replied, "Things that make people feel. I was going to say things that make people feel good about themselves, but it's more than that. Things that make people feel something, right? And a sense of community. But we have so many exciting things in the pipeline that I can't wait until we can announce them. I'm just really proud of what we're creating." Subscribe to the channel's news and support the article with a like.